From 1953 to 1957, NBC's Today Show had a chimpanzee co-host named J. Fred Muggs. That's Muggs with two G's. It is estimated he brought in the network around $100 million. Well, I'm no Mr. Muggs, and I'm not a Fred, but I'm also not afraid. I am just ordinary EP. What's happening, everybody? Welcome into the show where everything is epic, and epic starts with EP. Tito, are you ready to do this?
I'm ready. Let's do it, man.
Well then, epic starts right now. Artificial intelligence is one of the fastest growing markets within the world of technology. AI is on pace to contribute 15.7 trillion, that's trillion with a T as in T-Rex, 15.7 trillion to the global economy in only 8 more years, folks, by 2030. Once upon a time, there was a young man born out of Alexandria, Virginia, that currently resides in the ATX, one of my favorite cities on the planet. That's Austin, Texas, for those of you that haven't been out to the ACL. Let's say he paid his dues stacking bricks, digging holes, hopefully no bodies in those, and moving dirt. Before he moved on to construct a career of more than 15 years in tech space. I had the liberty of working with this young genius when we both spotted up at a place called Silence and wore the Silence swag. He rose up to become the Senior Director of Threat Research Intelligence at Silence. His previous role, though, has been taking care of the engineers. He's the VP of Engineering Data Science at Qualys. But guess what? He took the jump, and today, this man has stepped into the startup life, recently coming out of that, I love this term, stealth mode. Christopher Sestito, a.k.a. Tito, welcome to Epic Starts.
Thank you very much, EP, man. I'm excited to be here.
Hey, man, I'm excited to have you. And how do you like my feng shui, the living room, the family room? What do you think?
I'm loving it. I love colors? Blue. I like the animation on there. Not too much, but it's pretty interesting. I think it's nice.
We got some shooting stars in that background too. Speaking of shooting stars, let's talk about you, man. The names with fame. Tito, please introduce the name of your startup.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so I have actually just founded with 2 other co-founders, also ex-Silencers. We founded HiddenLayer Security.
Now, is HiddenLayer your firstborn baby as a co-founder / CEO?
It is, yeah. It's our first attempt at doing our own thing here. But we established something that we thought was all really important, and it was the first time we really decided we wanted to set out and kind of solve a problem. So, this is our first go.
What's the feeling? Is there a little sense of excitement, fear? What are some of the feelings that you're kind of going through as we speak?
All of that. Yeah, all of that. I mean, it's been a lot of fun. It's been the hardest we've ever worked, but it's been it's very scary getting going. We're in a great place right now. We've been at this for a while. We've been thinking about this for a couple of years, just in terms of how big of a problem it's going to be for the world. But as far as kind of getting off the ground and getting running, we're really happy with the way it's all worked out so far. But yeah, it's scary every day. It's exciting every day. It's a blast. Working with fantastic people, so that kind of helps the confidence out a bit. But yeah, man, it's a whole spectrum of emotion all the time.
It's a roller coaster. Well, listen, there's 71,000 new startups per year in the United States. So welcome to the startup life. So tell us, Tito, what is epic about HiddenLayer?
Thanks, yeah, man. So HiddenLayer is really founded around what I believe is going to be the biggest problem that all of us are going to be facing in the very near future, and essentially that's adversarial machine learning. So as you mentioned at the beginning of the show, there's no faster growing technology that we've ever seen, and that's going to remain true for at least the foreseeable future. And I think that this isn't going to be the first area in technology that the bad guys choose not to attack, right? So, we're in for just a major need around protecting ML assets, machine learning assets, and that's what we set out to do. And it was born out of something that happened to us, all of us, while we were at Silence, and that's really when we all recognized this is going to be a major need. We need a security product to stop this. So it's it's a new area of security for us, but I think it's going to be a major one. I think it's going to be one that we're all going to have to focus on quite a bit, just based on how much machine learning and AI adoption you see throughout the world.
So I love the story. you're sitting there. I'm sure the very first things that you and your crew, and let's give them some props, your partners.
Yes, I founded with James Ballard. He's and Tanner Burns, both ex Silencers as well. Known them for a long time. That they're best friends of mine. So it's a good to go out and do this with them. But we've all been doing this we've actually traveled together. We've been at the last 5 organizations that we work for. We kind of travel as a unit. So now it's time to kind of go off on our own.
Well, you guys are like a pack.
That's it.
You guys got a nickname?
No, you should give us a nickname though.
Come on, you guys got to be like some kind of a wolf pack. There's got to be some like the traveling 3 something. Well, maybe I'll come up with something by the end of the show.
You're in charge. We'll go with whatever you come up with.
So I'm a big guy on storytelling and use cases. Give me some use cases that are out there where your technology is going to be that perfect fit. There's listeners right now that are like, yeah, help me understand where I'm going to find the need, where I'm going to need HiddenLayer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think every organization on the planet that can afford to put resources towards, data science or specifically machine learning is doing exactly that. And so you're also starting to see these machine learning models deployed into production systems and making automated decisions for products. And if you will take a model and you expose it via your product, because that's what you need to do in order to allow your customers to leverage the model's decision-making power, you're also exposing inputs and outputs to that model to attackers. So, there's many, many use cases. Some of the most obvious are things like, fraud, like credit card fraud or account takeover. We see examples of this in security. I mean, we all lived an attack through this in next generation antivirus space. But really across 14 different industries that I've been able to identify, there's very clear examples of machine learning models being exposed through products, and then you need to protect the ones that aren't exposed through products as well. There's going to be access found through more traditional security attacks that then bring somebody to have their hands on a machine learning model. So as long as organizations continue to increase their resource commitment to machine learning, there's going to be a growing need to protect it.
I get it. So like in layman's terms, and I'm a layman, you're putting all machine learning models on notice that there's a new cybersec Marvel hero that has landed on planet Earth that is ready and able to actually deliver a product, a solution to help them defend what genius that they've built. It's being attacked.
I mean, it's a great way to look at it. I think, if you look at, some of these organizations are putting, their best and brightest on their data science teams, and there's a lot of organizations where, their major value proposition is machine learning driven. So, we need to protect those assets. We need to, give that just as much attention as we would any other area of course, our environment.
Well, what I think is epic is that you guys are trendsetters. I think it's also incredible that you're going somewhere where nobody's gone yet, and it's needed. There's a demand there, and being early, there's a lot of respect for that. And I've already caught some of the names that are on board your team, and you guys are going to be an incredible company. And excited just to see you guys get off the launching pad. All right, story time with Tito. Story time. Here we go. Here we go, kids. Cuddle up. Get close to the speakers. Here we go. All great startups. You mentioned earlier, James and Tanner. You guys got together. Yeah. All great startups seem to have like a great or unique story that led them to the inception point. Please share some details that actually involve your lightning bolt experience that you had for your startup. Maybe you guys were at the town hall pool place, or a speakeasy, or someone's garage, or on the unicorn floaty in Tito's pool. Where was it? How did it all come to be? Hopefully,
it really came to us when we were really forced into dealing with a problem just like this, and it was actually while we were all at Silence. It was our model was attacked through our own product, and the only reason we were even aware of it is because the attackers bragged about it. And if that weren't the case, we would have had no idea. So Tanner, Jim, and I were working on the response there, and as the dust settled, we said, this is going to be a problem for the entire world. And I think it was really Tanner who started to kind of sort of shape it, the most. But we really, we got together knowing we had to do something about this. And when we started thinking about really the lack of there's a lack of security professionals. There's even fewer data science professionals in terms of need. And then when you try and combine the two and have, professionals who understand both the security side and the machine learning side of the world, there's very, very few. So we knew this needs to be a product solution. And so it really all came out of that event back in 2019, where our model was attacked with silence. And we said, hey, this is a new type of security need that's going to be out there.
Well, a lot of I love that. Great story. A lot of startups, you have like what I call Han Solo acts, where it's the one man or one woman that starts their by themselves. They reach out to all sorts of people in their network. And then there's others like yourself, more like the Blue Angels. You're out there flying in synchronicity. And it sounds to me that you guys are ready to start buzzing the light towers of a lot of different enterprises across the world. So talk to me about Tanner and James. You guys, any prerequisite requirements? One of my very first startups, in fact, it was my very first startup. The two owners, they before they decided to move forward, partner up, and start building out, they went to climb a mountain. And it wasn't Everest, but it was a tall one, and it was an all-dayer. And they both told each other, let's see how this goes. Are we going to be able to work together? Are we going to fight tooth and nail, kick, scratch? Is someone going to quit? Yeah. And you know what? It was an awesome idea, an epic idea. Because if they figured if they couldn't do this together, why build a company together? So anything you guys, I know you guys are working together for a while, so you kind of already knew each other from the happy hours and the lunch sessions and throwing, darts at the board. But was there anything you guys kind of said, hey, let's try to do this before we give this a go?
I don't think we had to say that because we have done so much together. I think that's an awesome idea that they went through. But, Jim and I have known each other since we were 5 years old. And, Tanner was one of my first hires, 8 or 9 years ago back at Silence. So I think it's pretty safe to say that, every problem I've been up against over the last decade has been with these guys anyway. So I think if we were going to quit on each other, we definitely would have quit by now. But, it's a great group. And, both, we've got, strong professional relationships, strong personal relationships, and we've been through a lot together already. So it was a no-brainer that these are the guys that I was going to be doing this with. So
sounds like you guys got the bond that's already there and it's unbreakable, which is awesome. Oh, yeah. All right. Day in the life of an entrepreneur. I just like saying that because I get to say poo. Yeah. Otherwise known as EPN, entrepreneur, which, by the way, starts with EP. Yeah, you picked up on that.
Got it, yeah.
This is the part of the show where I get to get you to peel a few onion layers back, and I get to explore what makes Tito boom. So, Tito, are you strapped in? Are you ready for 620?
I'm ready.
By the way, probably wondering what 620 is. EP, what's 620?
What's 620, EP?
Well, I know a lot of our listeners have heard of 420. 620 is these are the days of our lives with Mr. Tweet, with Mr. Tito. I'm going to flip this baby over. Don't ask me why whoever built this, but they came up with 6 minutes and 20 seconds.
Okay.
So you have 6 minutes and 20 seconds or less to answer a few questions. Here we go. We're going to have some fun.
Good.
So, what time in the morning does a typical Tito day start for you?
I'm an early riser, and I have to be one because my son's usually waking me up around 5 in the morning. So that's I'm up pretty early.
Well, that's close to a rooster early in the morning as far as the crying goes. Put these fantastic 5 pre-blast off tasks in order for me. Coffee, workout, meditate, read, and shower.
Coffee, shower, coffee.
The meditation is rocking the kid back to sleep.
That's right. The coffee takes like 3 minutes to brew. I meditate during that.
No reading of any comics or any cartoons that are coming across the screen?
I read a ton, just not in the morning. So yeah, I read a lot, but it's mostly tech news, and then I do a lot of the startup reading lately.
All right, I like it. Let's keep rolling. Windows or Mac?
I fought the good fight with Windows for a long time, but I've converted, so I'm pretty much Mac everything. I want my house to work here, and my wife was buying all the Mac stuff, so we're Mac now.
I still can't do it. You'll have to teach me. All right, DM preference: Slack, Teams, text, or other?
My preference is definitely text. I'm a Signal guy for sure, but I use a lot of Slack too. So Slack's my app of choice there. But I would say trying to get a hold of me, shoot me a text.
All right. What's one of the first tunes on your quote unquote get into the zone Spotify list?
Good question. I know it's a classic. It's going to sound cliche, but me and my son, we listen to Enter Sandman on the way to school every day. So
yes!
It really gets him going. He loves it. That's how he starts his kindergarten morning.
Tell your son the EP is an epic fan of him.
I will do that.
A quick story, I gotta say it. My son's very first Metallica concert. Guess where it was, Tito?
Where's that? Was it Austin?
ACL.
That's awesome.
That's right. Yeah. ACL. Travis Scott was headlining. Nice. Metallica was headlining. I mean, talk about two different ends of the spectrum.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it was awesome. He's seen him 3 times before he was 12 years old.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So you're starting early, and I'm a very proud father speaking to another father. Good man. All right. Number 6, and this is the last one. And you're doing pretty good, man. Lots of stands.
We got some time
through there. Look at that. Last one. Gilligan's Island remix coming this fall. Who is crushing it with crypto on the island?
Is this with the Gilligan cast, or is this?
Yes. Yes.
That's a call. Well, nobody's crushing it with crypto right now, so that's actually an easy answer. I think they're all losing everything. So they probably lost less money than the rest of us because they've been on an island.
Okay, who was one of the OGs for crypto on the island?
Okay, good question. I only know a couple of them. I know Gilligan and Skipper, and then there's a few others. We'll say Gilligan.
All right, Gilligan.
I don't have a good reason for it.
Who is turning the place into Hemp Island?
To Hemp Island. Okay, probably Gilligan on that one. So I don't know if I have to change the others, but.
And who would be leading the group once a month in a cybersecurity awareness session?
Oh. Who was the uptight one? It was the professor.
There it is. Yeah, of course.
He's probably more like the rest of us.
Of course. All right. We'll give him a hand. Way to go, Tito. And my man. Look at that. Not even half
time we killed it there.
You're doing fantastic. Look at that.
Nice.
Oh, man. Too much fun. All right. Back to tech talk without the TikTok. So summarize what your $1 million message is that will yield billions of bennies for HiddenLayer. What's the message? I'm a big guy when it comes to branding and, being in the startup business for 25 years plus. It's all about that one message. A lot of people put the cliche out there, the 30-second elevator pitch. Yeah. But what is the message that you're finding right now that is resonating? Like, really, I would say go to your VCs. What was the pitch that you were given to the VCs where they're like leaning in? Ooh, that's good, Tito. Tell me about that. What does it say?
I think if I were to summarize it, it's protect your advantage. You invested a lot in machine learning assets to give yourself an advantage, whether that be kind of at the core of what you offer, or whether it be to optimize your offerings or any sort of advantage that you're using it for. You need to protect that advantage, whether it's your intellectual property, whether it's the secret sauce of how you do what you do. You need to protect it like you would any other asset in the organization. So I would say protect your advantage. That's our message.
And, I'm always looking for trends. That's what I love about this show is I really am trying to bring out the trends to other startups, other entrepreneurs, other people that are like sitting there wanting to make the jump or have made the jump and are trying to pivot right now because they jumped and they need to jump again, but in a different direction. Talk to us about what that experience was like when you were going through all the different investors, different VCs, they're interviewing you, you're interviewing them. What stood out for the lead investor that you ended up going with? And feel free to give them a shameless plug.
Yeah, great question. We ended up actually, our lead investor is 1011 Ventures, a group that we know well from back from the Silence days.
Good guys. Yep.
That was they're fantastic guys. It's a great team. We're really excited to partner up with them, and they really are more than investors. I mean, they're in on every decision with us, helping us out all the way. So that's been fantastic. But about that whole kind of what really worked with a lot of the investors at the time was really kind of an understanding of just how huge machine learning is getting. And really, it's been addressed at kind of an academic level for a while, but they were really excited to get some of those who have been in security products for the last decade focusing on it, because I think that there's sort of a need for practicality here as sort of kind of high concept as AI and ML can be sometimes, to just really be able to bring it back into real outcomes for that drive businesses. There was some excitement there. And then I think the biggest sort of differentiator for us is our solution doesn't require any access to your data or to your algorithms itself. So I think there was some real excitement there because we're going to be able to protect those who are, trying to defend, some sensitive materials, sensitive data. So I think that was really another one that kind of got some excitement.
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, and that last thing you just touched on, that's going to bring a lot of smiling faces to your sales team, because it doesn't sound like you're going to have a lot of friction of having to have all the keys to the kingdom to unlock doors, and that's so fun. I like what I heard you say, partnering up with 1011, and I also liked focused on getting solutions. So that's fantastic. Those are my takes. So Tito, I want you to stare into camera one. Share with us how you are contributing to making the world a better place through HiddenLayer.
Well, I think, if you ask me, and if you ask a lot of people, artificial intelligence and machine learning technology is the world's most important technology. We are protecting that. We're protecting the world's most important technology. I think there's no question, the next 50, next 100 years, however you want to look at it, we're already moving towards. I'm actually familiar with that statistic that you said at the beginning, where PwC actually mentions that by 2030 we're looking at $15.7 trillion of the global economy, which at that moment will be about 13% of the global economy. And I think if you look at these, the expansion and the commitment the entire world is making towards this technology, that if you're starting a security company right now, I think that's there's only one space to go. So I think that that's what we're doing. That's how we're trying to change the world. That's how we're trying to make it a better place.
I love it. So let's see here. I'm going to give you a task here. Epic Magazine. It's coming. It's in production. Not really, but it sounds great. Epic Magazine. I put you on the front cover of the first episode, or the first published. What does the caption say?
Oh, okay. Don't worry. He's smarter than he looks.
I love it. Follow the leader. How do listeners and viewers out there follow Mr. Tito and, of course, HiddenLayer? They want to learn more about you and follow your epic company.
Yeah, you can come find out more about us at HiddenLayer.com. If you want to talk to us on Twitter, it's HiddenLayerSec at HiddenLayerSec, and then you can get a hold of us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and then if you want to reach out, see a demo of the product, it's just contact at HiddenLayer.com, and or if you can reach out to me any way you can get a hold of me, and I'll be happy to show you.
Fantabulous. All the best to you and your HiddenLayer crew, Mr. Tito. It was a pleasure having you on today. I definitely look forward to having you on a future show with a nice little progress report.
Absolutely.
And I hope you had fun.
It's a blast. Thank you so much, EP. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely, man. And I hope everyone else out there had fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, do us a favor, go like this show, and then also become a subscription member. Just go ahead and subscribe to it. If you want to nominate your CEO or your founder for your organization, or somebody out there where you're like, I got to get them on the Epic Start show, then bring it. Send an email to ep@epicstartswithep.com. That's a wrap. And before we go, just remember, everything epic starts with EP.